with the Mompreneur Daily, where we talk all things work, wardrobe, and motherhood. And today we have a special guest because we are going to talk about something very special. Stay tuned. It's going to be exciting because my favorite person is here. So, I always have to share my outfit beats. They are popped up on the screen. Today I am in head to toe Zara. Zara is a go-to of mine, even though they're not unlike to know it. But they're just a great resource for moms, mompreneurs. They have everything from, casual to dressy clothes. I go there and I spend all this money and I come out looking great. So here's my photo, a little Zara, a little Gucci. I like to invest in pieces, but I also like to be smart about how I shop. So our 14-year anniversary is coming up this week. And being marriage is a partnership.
Indeed.
And entrepreneurship is a full-time job. So, you guys may see me and you may see our family and you may see all of, the things that I do in a day. But, I thought that it would be great to share how business has affected our marriage, what role he's played really in my entrepreneurial journey, and what advice we would give to other couples who, one or both, are pursuing entrepreneurial endeavors. So my best bud is here and we are going to get right into it.
Let's do it.
So now for the serious business. Really, marriage, he's like my person. And he is the person I spend the most time with. He is the person who knows, I don't have any deep dark secrets, but he knows me. So when I decided that I wanted to pursue entrepreneurship full time because we are partners and this is a partnership, it essentially affects him as much as it does me. So I wanted to share our experience, share some of the things that we did that helped us, share some of the things that we're still doing that helped us. So in 2016, as many of you may or may not know, if not, this is where you learn, I walked away from my career of 10 years. And when you're in a marriage and remember we share money, and one person comes and says, I'm not going to do this anymore. How does that, what happened for you?
I probably did what I'm doing right now.
I believe you did.
Yeah. No, it took some processing. Double income household, and one person is like, hey, I want this income to stop. It's like you have to.
Well, I didn't want the income to stop.
Well,
what the
I said
action that I had to take? Okay.
This particular income. You didn't want income in general to stop. But anyway, it took some processing. But I really, that was kind of a crescendo. It built up to that. I could see how. I don't know if you've shared this with them before or plan to here, but here we are. But I could see it building up to that day where you was like, babe, the time has come. And we communicate a lot, so we had plenty of conversations about it. So when it came, it was like, okay, well, I knew this day was coming, didn't know when, but here it is. So let's go.
And we had 3 children. We still have 3 children. And I honestly didn't expect it to come as quickly as it came. But it was like the moment I knew I could no longer take it and I had to resign, I immediately shared that with him because, again, we communicated. And I think that was one of the big things. We talked so much about everything. He knew that eventually I wanted to quit. He knew that this was not what I wanted to do forever. And he was in agreement with that. It was just the timing. I don't think either one of us, we didn't know it would be.
That jogs my memory well. I knew it was coming. I didn't know when. So, when that time came and you had had it up to here with that lifestyle because, working 9 to 5 is a lifestyle. It's, for you, it was not a desirable one, but nevertheless, it was one. And I knew that it was coming to an end. So when it came, it was probably, a little bit of a throw off, maybe, but, nevertheless.
That's one reason why I'm really passionate about sharing about mompreneurship, because for me, it was an opportunity I have an entrepreneurial mind, but in terms of the day-to-day, it was a lot. Like waking up, I was supposed to wake up at 5. I'm not much of a morning person, so I will just say I was supposed to wake up. In order to be to work on time, I was supposed to wake up at 5. That didn't happen often. It would get to 5:30, it would get to 6:30, and I was out of the house essentially for 10 hours. I had to take kids to school. I had to pick kids up from school. I had to come home and make dinner. I had to grocery shop. Now being on the other side of it and having a lot more flexibility in my day when I can wake up in the morning, work, take the kids to school, work, go to the grocery store at 10 o'clock. I can maneuver things. I don't know how. I mean, I know it was just grace, but in terms of how do people consume their whole day with work and still be what they need to be to their families, not just in terms of time, but mental bandwidth. So the transition was very, very smooth because we had been talking, and I believe that prepared his heart and his mind to be ready for the transition when it was time.
Yeah, and the I think the part you touched on it, the part that's overlooked. If you tell someone that you're quitting your full-time job, the first thing that they think about is the money that you're forfeiting. They're like, what are you going to do money-wise? But very few people were asking you that question when the money was present. What are you doing about losing your mind every day with all the stuff you have to do? Yeah. That question is not being asked. So you had the income, we had the income together, but we also had that just day-to-day, I don't know if stress is the right word, but it was a lot. So the income was being removed, that specific income was being removed. But for me as a husband and a father, that flexibility that was opening up, because I was, working too, and I had a business as well. So I was very busy, and if you have 2 super busy parents, then that puts a strain on the house. So the fact that your time was being freed up, that brought a lot of peace to my mind and to my heart, knowing that you could take care of family affairs during the day while I was working. And it was just going to be, we were going to figure out the money part.
As the song says, this is the peace that you cannot buy. It was the peace that I could not buy. So, babe, what would you say your role is in my entrepreneurial endeavors? Or
I'm the CSO. That's what I am. The Chief Supporting Officer.
Wow, Chief Supporting Officer.
And I just came up with that, but in essence and in my heart, that's what I had set out to be from the beginning. You know what I mean? A good man should want to see his lady, his wife happy, and I wanted to see you happy. And I knew that you are a creative mind, and you needed outlets, and entrepreneurship was one of the main outlets where you needed to put that part of you to work. So my thing was, what can I do to support you? And if we always tell people who we are in relationship with, anything you need, let me know. Anything you need, let me know. For my wife, it was truly, anything you need, let me know. You didn't even know everything you needed from me at the beginning. You couldn't have known. It was a new journey.
And really, his support, your support in the beginning looked like, okay, I have to go and meet with the realtor and we have to go look at commercial spaces. I won't be home for 12 hours. Okay, the contractors are coming today and I have to stay there while they're there and oversee the work. So I don't know when I will be home. The support looked like not asking me what was for dinner because I didn't know. And I frankly did not care. I'm usually the mom that's like, they need to have vegetables, they need to have fruit, it needs to be organic, they ate this yesterday. It was kind of like, if you want to feed them cereal and hot dogs, God bless you. That is what they would eat. He did not though. But he took care of everything. Like, there were times when I really felt bad because it was like I would come home late, and this was in building the brick and mortar business that we are sitting in right now, Hazel Salon. I have a video here that explains how my cousin and business partner and I started that, so please go and watch that. But this was while I was starting this brick and mortar business, which required a lot of my physical presence. And I would wake up, I would get home late, and then he would say, what time do you have to leave in the morning? And I would say, oh, I have to leave at 9 or 10. If he had an errand, he would say, hey, do you mind if I run out and go take care of this errand before you leave? And then when he would get back, I would go and I would be gone. And sometimes it was like, okay, what time will you be back home? And sometimes the answer was, I don't know, because I did not know.
The answer was that a lot of times.
We are big on like accountability. Say what you want about us. We have the passcodes to each other's phones, not because we don't trust each other, but really it's the opposite. It's because we don't have anything to hide. Go on my phone whenever. Like, that's kind of how we roll. We have our location sharing on. You don't have to be like us, but this is what works for us. But so we're big on accountability. It's not common for me or either one of us to say, I don't know what time I'll be home, just, for some arbitrary reason. So, but it was really like that because I did not know. I was spending a lot of money, but not making any money. So now we're at one income and our savings, and I'm not making money, but I'm spending money because I have to be out every day. I have to invest, monies into the business. So he really did support me. And that's one thing I would say, I think that's where knowing your family and knowing your spouse is really important, because like he said, I didn't really know what I needed in the beginning. He doesn't know anything about running a salon. So there were times when I would bounce things off of him, and sometimes I really would just dump them on him because he would just be like a sounding board. But like he said, I didn't know what I needed from him. He really didn't know what he needed to give me. Nope. But he knew, like, him just being there, being present. There were times when he would ask. There were times when I would ask. I would say, hey, there's some stuff that needs to be done around the salon that I don't want to pay a handyman to do. Can you come do this? Can you come take this trash out? Can you come move this? The contractor is coming, but in order for us to stay on budget, can you come be some muscle? And he would do those things. So I really think him just showing up, me being able to see his heart and knowing that he was supportive of what I was doing, that was really impactful, and it was really very intangible.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned feeding the kids, but kids require more than just food. So, they require, entertainment.
They do.
And engagement.
Yes.
And being there. So, a lot of times that's the hat that I wore. You know what I mean? I was just trying to keep the kids occupied until mommy got home. When is mommy coming home? I don't know. She is coming at some point, but until then, this is what we'll be doing. And then a lot of times, it's no secret, building a business can be tough and challenging, and it can be emotionally draining. Mm-hmm. So I remember, there were a lot of times that I just wanted to be there for you, to encourage you that it was going to be all right, that this is a good thing you're doing. It's going to come to fruition as it is in your heart. And then even down to, like you said, I didn't know about running the salon, but in high school, she thinks I was a math genius. I was good in math, but even like when it came down to numbers, with some things she would, include me on and bounce things off of me. And, some of the stuff was just kind of like logic, common sense. So I'm just thinking of all the different ways I was there for you. But like I said, it was kind of like a utility man in baseball. Whatever was needed, that's what I was willing to at least try to do.
What's a utility man in baseball?
You know what a utility knife is?
Yes.
A knife that has a different
multi-purpose.
Multi-purpose person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what
I
I'm
learned
trying to be.
something new. I learned something new. But I think the point here, or the advice here, is to be whatever that person needs you to be at that time, and to use whatever skill sets you have that are helpful.
I think that's critical, though. I know this is a business video, but it's a marriage and business video, right?
It is.
Yeah, when you sign up for this relationship, that person may be able to tell you, okay, this is what I'm going to need from you as my partner in life, that husband, that wife. But they may not know everything.
No.
They won't know everything.
No. And you really don't know all of what they have to contribute.
Yeah, you don't.
You really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't live together before we got married. I didn't know that you would be the morning savior, the one to like wake up and get the breakfast started because I need like one more extra hour than him. But that was like an extra perk. That was like, oh, I didn't know I was gonna get this too. But there are some things that you may not be so excited about that person is able to help you with.
Yeah, but be willing to do it once you learn it.
Yes.
It's the unknown, but kind of accept, okay, there are going to be some things that come with this that I don't know about, that she or your woman doesn't know about, but I have to be willing to put my hand to the plow when that event arises.
So we talked about the before and we kind of talked about the during, but where are you now? Like, how do you feel? We're almost 3 years in. It will be Hazel O's 3rd birthday in September. So how do you feel? Like, what's your role now? How do you feel like our relationship has adjusted? And
well, first of all, I'm proud of you. I have to start there. And I get to live with you every day, which is a blessing, but I am in all of you and what you built. And even though I played a part in it, it's like, wow, she really did it. But where I am now, I think we have hit like a flow, like a rhythm. There's more of a rhythm to our life, where back on that build-up stage, it was like a little kid who, you watch a movie and a little kid gets a drum set for Christmas and they're just making noise. It's just like noise all over the place. They might hit the snare, might hit the cymbal, and it's making no musical sense, but it's making sound. Mm-hmm. But the lessons have been learned, and now with those same instruments, now it's a sound, a rhythm, mm-hmm. and that's where we are. We are still working hard. You are still working hard, but it's more of a melody and a rhythm to it. So for me, being in the role that I am in, it's easier. You're back. You're cooking again.
I am.
You're entertaining the kids again.
Yes.
And taking them to the movies.
And I think that what he said is really important because, sometimes the things that we see, they're temporary. So mm-hmm. I think a lot of times people get frustrated, they give up. Businesses have pulled marriages apart, people have gotten divorced, and it's like, that was temporary. That was, really, I still had to work hard when the business was first opening, but I didn't have to work hard in the same way, which means I didn't need his support in the same way. So he had to dig his heels in that summer preceding the opening. But once the salon opened, you know, I was back to dropping the kids off at school,
Yeah.
coming to the salon, picking them up and bringing them home. And I think that sometimes, you know, we give up too quickly, we quit too quickly, or we think like, when is this going to end? And he's so glad now. He tells me all the time like that we did this for our family, and now I'm able to support him as, you know, his business is growing and his endeavors are expanding. If you are obviously on YouTube, follow him at B&M Real Estate. He is a realtor, obviously, but he's one of the most knowledgeable people I know. So that's his little commercial. No, seriously, if he understands something, you will understand it too. He's that great of a teacher in the sense that he can really break down and explain anything. And if you can't digest it at that point, it's better than like a what are those books? Such and Such for Dummies. Yeah, like he can he can break it down to that level. So again, it's like we had a season where we had to like push, and I needed him to cook and I needed him to entertain. And now, you know, I've really been able to take the reins back and give back to him what he essentially gave to me while I was growing, while we were growing. And I feel like that's the beauty of a partnership, because we have this saying in our home: everyone in this house does everything for everyone in this house.
Amen.
So when I'm going to work, it's for everyone in this house. It's so that all of us can have money. When Daddy is going to work, it's for all of us. It's so that all of us can have money. When I go to the grocery store, it's so that we all can eat. When my daughter washes the dishes, it's so that we can all have clean dishes. Like, we're a community, we're a family. Everything we do is for everyone. So if you're in that place right now, like your spouse is building a business and you feel like, God, when is it going to be my turn? When am I going to get, you know, this? When am I going to have my time to shine? Or just even if you don't want time to shine, but you're tired, which I'm sure he was, or you're tired of that person being moody or stressed. You know, I think that communication is always, it's amazing, and it's not like I wanted him to let me walk over top of him during that season. And I really don't believe that I did. I was very careful because I knew that he was taking on a lot. But know that, like, you're doing something for your family. You're supporting your spouse and doing something for your family. And it won't always be this way.
You know, you said something that kind of tugged on my heart. And what helped, I don't know, you know, if everyone feels like this. I mentioned a little bit earlier, but what helped is I wanted your business to succeed probably as much as you did. It wasn't like it was in one of your favorite words, silos, like, you know.
Separate from you.
Yeah, separate. With your job was, okay, Mom got to go to work. I mean, we talked about it because we talked about everything, but I didn't have this desire for you to be the greatest, you know, career woman in that particular career that you were. So it's like, you know, but when it came to your business, I had a desire for it to be everything that you wanted it to be. I think, you probably don't think so, but I think as much as you did. So that helped me to push it and push you and, you know, do everything that we talked about previously, without any, you know, bitterness in my heart, or, you know, if you were frustrated and stressed, and, you know, I may have been tempted to be tired of that. I had to get myself together and say, man, she's working for something that you want to. So, you know, you work for it as well. So that helped me a lot as well.
I hope this video was helpful to you. You know, we are passionate about marriage, obviously, and business, and couples, you know, thriving in marriage and business and together. So if you have questions, please drop them in the comments. Please share this video. Somebody you know can use this video. Somebody you know is married and they are thinking about starting a business or are already in a business. Share this video, like this video, comment on this video, ask us all the questions. Maybe we'll come back and do another one. What do you think? Maybe we'll come back. So hope this helped you. Oh, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe.